A terrified farm kid stands before the judges and spits out the name of their song. Simon Cowell rolls his eyes, folds his arms, and leans back. Then the kid opens their mouth, and America hears the voice of a superstar. But what happens next can sometimes end in tragedy.
It's important that everyone knows I'm so much more than the bad things that happened to me.
Singer-songwriter Jane Marczewski, who sometimes performed under the name Nightbirde, made a major impression at the beginning of season 16 of America's Got Talent. For her audition, she sang an original ballad called It's Okay about her history with breast cancer. The performance so moved the judges, Simon Cowell in particular, that she was immediately advanced to the next round after he pressed the golden buzzer.
How are you now?
Last time I checked, I had some cancer in my lungs, my spine, and my liver.
In August 2021, Marczewski took herself out of the competition when her health deteriorated to the point where she could no longer perform live. Announcing the news on Instagram, she wrote, "Life doesn't always give breaks to those that deserve it." 6 months later, and more than 4 years after first being diagnosed, Marczewski died at the age of 31. Judge Howie Mandel took to X to write, "Nightbirde was such a bright, inspirational light in all our lives. We must continue to live and learn from her words and lyrics." Flexing her powerful gospel sound, Mandisa made it all the way to the Season 5 Top 10 of American Idol in 2006. She wowed judges and viewers by belting out the likes of Chaka Khan's I'm Every Woman and Heart's Never, but was voted out in 9th place after her take on Shania Twain's Any Man of Mine failed to impress. It didn't matter much, though. The Idol exposure gave Mandisa the boost she needed, and she went on to become a superstar in the contemporary Christian genre. She topped Billboard's Christian album chart with 3 separate releases, and Overcomer sat at #1 on the singles chart for 10 weeks. Mandisa took home the 2014 Grammy Award for Best Contemporary Christian Music Album.
Overcomer is about the fact that I am triumphing. I'm overcoming the battles in my life.
Sadly, she was discovered dead at her Nashville home on April 18, 2024 at the age of 47. Her death was puzzling enough for the Franklin Police Department to open an investigation, but an autopsy concluded that she died of complications of Class 3 obesity.
Cut the crap!
America's Got Talent offered exposure to entertainers who may not have otherwise made it onto national television, including stand-up comedian Grandma Lee. After her husband's death in 1995, the 70-something Lee started taking comedy classes in Oklahoma City and became a road comic. In 2009, she brought her blunt, deadpan comedic style to America's Got Talent, where she became a fan favorite and finished in the top 10.
Right now, I want to talk about my kids. They're in the audience tonight, and I know they're sitting out there sweating like Ryan Seacrest watching Brokeback Mountain.
Grandma Lee's real name was Frances Lee Strong, and she continued to do stand-up in the decade after her star-making run on AGT. But in November 2019, Strong fell in a Tampa hotel room and broke a hip, from which she never fully recovered. Grandma Lee died in a Jacksonville, Florida assisted living facility in April 2020. She was 85 years old. In the mid-2010s, a popular sleaze rock band Hinder lost its lead singer, and, for a while at least, Nashville-based country and rock singer Nolan Neal took over the mic. The arrangement didn't work out, but Neal didn't let it stop him. In 2016, he made it to the televised audition rounds of The Voice in 2 separate seasons. His first attempt was unsuccessful, but his cover of Elton John's Tiny Dancer during his second try earned him a spot on mentor Adam Levine's team.
You're going to be the first guy who went home last season and who won this season.
It wasn't to be. Neal was eliminated in an early knockout round, but Neal resurfaced on reality TV 4 years later, trying out for season 15 of America's Got Talent. This time, he sang an original tune, Lost, and he made it to the quarterfinals before he was knocked out in the Judges' Choice round. In July 2022, Neal was discovered dead in his bedroom by his roommate. Neal had been open about his ongoing issues with substance abuse, but it took his life. According to the autopsy, the 41-year-old singer died of acute combined drug toxicity due to the combined effects of morphine, fentanyl, and methamphetamine. At age 17, aspiring comic Ralphie May was opening for acerbic 80s comic Sam Kinison. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, May was one of the hardest touring stand-up comics in the country, while also landing bit parts in movies. Then, in 2003, he reached a new kind of fame when he appeared on the first season of Last Comic Standing. Week after week, May advanced, finishing second only to Dat Fan. After the show, May's career was on the rise as he played to big crowds and recorded a number of TV specials. But in 2017, May was diagnosed with pneumonia and was forced to take a break from performing to recover. In October of that year, he was found dead at a home in Las Vegas. An autopsy later determined that May died of hypertensive cardiovascular disease. He was 45.
I don't see myself being anything but a singer, you know?
Willie Spence was a musical star on the rise even before he got his big break on American Idol in 2021. As a high school student, he made YouTube videos of himself singing, and his performance of Rihanna's Diamonds racked up more than 30 million views. Spence sailed through the competition, finishing in second place, but in October 2022, Spence was driving on Interstate 24 in Tennessee when he lost control of his Jeep and hit the back of a semi-truck that had pulled over onto the shoulder of the highway. Authorities pronounced him dead at the scene. Spence was 23 years old. Haley Smith got a ticket to the Hollywood round at the start of the 2012 season of American Idol. At her audition, her playful charisma shone through on a folk-inflected performance of Rufus's Tell Me Something Good. Judge Steven Tyler was a particular fan.
You're right out of my era, and I'm honored to be here listening to your voice.
Wow.
Sadly, Smith didn't make it to the live performance round. While Smith was by all accounts a seasoned motorcycle rider, she was involved in a deadly accident in Millinocket, Maine in August 2019. She died from her injuries at 26 years old. Marque Tate Lynche auditioned for a spot on American Idol in 2004, bringing a bit more experience to the table than the usual crop of Idol hopefuls. He'd been a member of the early 1990s cast of Disney Channel's The All-New Mickey Mouse Club. The show was actually something of a star factory, turning out Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Kerry Russell, and Ryan Gosling, to name just a few. But Lynch's Idol gamble didn't pay off. He made it to the round of 32, but was cut just before the finalists were selected. On December 6, 2015, Lynch's roommate discovered him unresponsive, and when paramedics arrived, they pronounced him dead at the age of 34. An autopsy determined that Lynche died from complications of chronic alcoholism. Tough guy stand-up comedian Mike DeStefano came to comedy in his 30s after surviving years of heroin addiction. When he got sober, he became a drug rehabilitation counselor and started adding jokes and funny personal stories to his work with patients. Eventually, they turned into a brutally confessional comedy act, and by the 2000s, DeStefano was appearing at New York clubs, on the comedy festival circuit, and on syndicated morning radio shows. DeStefano was on the rise, shooting a Comedy Central special and appearing on late-night TV. Then, in the summer of 2010, he was a finalist on Season 7 of Last Comic Standing. He finished in 4th place. On March 6, 2011, DeStefano's lawyer confirmed to the media that the comedian had died in the Bronx. DeStefano, who was HIV positive and 11 years in recovery for heroin addiction, died from a massive heart attack at the age of 44.
Every day that I wake up, I wonder if my dream is ever gonna come true.
Alice Tan Ridley first sang publicly at the age of 3, but put her aspirations on hold to work as a special needs teacher in New York City and start a family. In the 1980s, she began singing in New York subway stations for money. She was so successful that she started busking full-time in the early 1990s. In 2002, Ridley won the short-lived Fox talent competition show 30 Seconds to Fame, and 8 years later, she finished in the semifinals in the 5th season of America's Got Talent. Still, Ridley continued busking. She was so well known among New York's many commuters that in 2010, she was profiled on Good Morning America and in the New York Post. That same year, her daughter, actress Gibere Sidibe, was a 2010 Oscar nominee for her performance in Precious.
My daughter is a big star, but I'm still pursuing my dream, which is become a great singer.
According to an obituary posted online, Alice Ann Tan Ridley Sidibe died on March 25, 2025 in New York City, with members of her family present. No cause of death was reported. She was 72 years old. Born in the US and raised for a time in India, Kabir Singh, also known by the nickname Kabeezy, could do stand-up in 3 languages. He appeared on major performance shows like Stand Up, Gabriel Iglesias Presents Stand-Up Revolution, and Unprotected Sets, and headlined his own special, Retiring Material. But his most high-profile credit was America's Got Talent. In 2021, all 4 judges liked his audition set, and Singh made it to the semifinals before he was finally sent home.
Could you imagine a black serial killer? He would get pulled over on the way to getting supplies.
Singh continued to perform stand-up through November 2024 despite dealing with a series of health problems not revealed to the general public. According to his fiancée, on the morning of December 4, 2024, while in Pleasanton, California, he simply didn't wake up. His death was attributed to natural causes, specifically congenital heart disease. Singh was 39. America's Got Talent and Penn and Teller Fool Us are just about the only TV talent competitions where a professional magician can build up a following. Scott Alexander made it onto both highly selective series, first dazzling the America's Got Talent judges in 2011 with a trick that featured a magically appearing assistant who then levitated. He made it to the quarterfinals before being eliminated. A few years later, Alexander re-emerged on the more comically oriented Penn and Teller Fool Us, in which he moved through solid bars. Alexander's reality show work made him one of the most famous working magicians out there. It was while he was booked as the on-ship entertainment on a cruise out of St. Kitts in February 2023 that Alexander had a stroke that proved fatal. The magician was 52. Back in 2008, Texas dancer Joshua Allen tried out for Season 4 of Fox's So You Think You Can Dance. With a naturally athletic and breakdancing-inspired style, he proved more than capable of whatever challenges the show presented, and at the season's end, Allen was declared the winner. Soon, he was dancing in major projects including the movies Freak Dance, Step Up 3D, the 2011 remake of Footloose, and in a variety of TV commercials. In the early morning hours of September 30th, 2025, police in Tarrant County, Texas arrived at a railroad crossing, where they discovered Allen unresponsive and badly hurt after being hit by a train. He was rushed to a local hospital where he died. He was 36 years old. One of So You Think You Can Dance's first big success stories was Danny Tidwell. In 2007, Tidwell, a dynamic ballet dancer, finished second in Season 3. His brother, dancer and choreographer Travis Wall, had been the runner-up in Season 2. After the show, Tidwell went on to dance with a ballet company in Oslo, Norway. In March 2020, Wall announced on his Instagram page that Tidwell had died from injuries sustained in a car accident. He was 35 years old. Dance legend and So You Think You Can Dance judge Debbie Allen remembered Tidwell on X, writing, "Our beautiful dancing genius, prince amongst paupers, you are in God's ensemble. We will always speak your name with love and respect." As one of the first breakout talents in the first season of The Voice in 2011, singer Beverly McClellan helped make the show a hit. Her passionate audition performance of Janis Joplin's Piece of My Heart earned the interest of judges Adam Levine and Christina Aguilera. She opted to join the latter's team and made it all the way to the final four of the competition. After The Voice, McClellan scored a couple of minor hits with Lovesick and The Thrill Is Gone. She also collaborated and toured with major acts like Steve Vai, in addition to playing shows on her own accord all across the country. According to USA Today, doctors diagnosed McClellan with stage 3 endometrial cancer in March 2018. The disease metastasized, spreading to her colon, bladder, and intestines. While hospitalized for treatment, McClellan died on October 31st, 2018 at the age of 49. Janice Freeman was a formidable competitor and talented singer, evident from her debut performance on The Voice in 2017. Freeman got two judges to turn around to extend an offer to join their team. Miley Cyrus and Jennifer Hudson were both wowed by her stirring cover of Imagine Dragons' Radioactive as her blind audition piece. Freeman ultimately went with Cyrus.
You are just everything that I could have ever imagined having on my team. I just love you so much.
She subsequently proved adept at a number of styles, performing songs by Etta James, Brandi Carlile, and Collective Soul. She made it all the way to the top 11 before elimination. Freeman discussed her health history during her time on The Voice, which included a cervical cancer diagnosis in 2012 and living with the chronic condition lupus. According to a tweet from her family on her account, Freeman was rushed to a hospital after collapsing at home. Following severe pneumonia and a blood clot that had lodged in her heart, Freeman died at the age of 33 in 2019. Already a YouTube star as a teenager thanks to her powerful covers of Miley Cyrus songs, Christina Grimmie made one of the most auspicious debuts in the history of The Voice. She auditioned with Cyrus's Wrecking Ball, earning a chair turnaround from all four of the show's celebrity panelists, who all wanted Grimmie on their team. The singer ultimately finished in third place, but still became one of the most successful acts to emerge from the show, scoring hit singles, landing a recording contract, and winning iHeartRadio's Rising Star competition. According to the Orlando Sentinel, Grimmie played a concert in Orlando on June 10, 2016, and during a meet and greet after show, she was approached by a man named Kevin Loibel, a fan who was fixated on her and insisted that he'd one day marry the singer. He then pulled out a gun and began to fire. Grimmie's brother, who was standing right there with her, leapt into action.
Investigators say Grimmie's brother immediately tackled the gunman to the floor, and that's when the suspect shot himself dead.
Hours later, Grimmie died from injuries suffered in the attack. She was 22. Unlike most other TV talent shows, America's Got Talent opens its stage and star-making machinery to more than just belters and divas. In Season 4, the series welcomed Jay Phillips, who represented a throwback to the late 80s in both presentation and talent. With teased-out hair and flamboyant costumes, he played glam metal on a keyboard draped around his neck. Despite his infectious charisma and undeniable musicianship, Phillips was quickly eliminated from contention but returned to America's Got Talent 8 years later.
What's up, America? I'm JJ. I'm back on AGT.
Unfortunately, he didn't make it past the quarterfinals. Outside of his solo stints on America's Got Talent, Phillips played with the band Metal Mafia. On November 30th, 2021, the group's Instagram account broke the news that Phillips had died. The statement read, "It is with great sadness we inform you all of the loss of our bandmate, brother, and friend. It still doesn't feel real." Phillips' friend, Seth Lawless, told The Wrap that 5 days prior, the musician's girlfriend discovered him unresponsive and that he died in his sleep at home following a COVID-19 diagnosis. Phillips was 30. Tremendously gifted and boasting a high-level stage presence, Skilyr Hicks auditioned for Season 8 of America's Got Talent at age 14. She performed an original gut-wrenching piece about the death of her estranged father.
A few years ago, my dad, he passed away, and that was a really difficult time for me.
Demonstrably moved, judges moved Hicks along to the next round, where she sang another self-penned song, Second Chance. Hicks didn't advance any further on America's Got Talent, but she made headlines after her time on the show for personal and criminal issues. She was arrested on domestic violence charges in 2017 and underage drinking in 2018. On December 6, 2021, Hicks was discovered lifeless and unresponsive in the home of a friend. Chief Deputy Chad Brooks of the Pickens County Sheriff's Office told TMZ that authorities believe Hicks likely died of a drug overdose, as her body was discovered on a bathroom floor with narcotics and paraphernalia nearby. Hicks was 23. Unlike the pop-centric American Idol, judges and audiences for America's Got Talent can expect a wider range of vocal talent. Take, for example, Neal E. Boyd, the winner of the competition series' third season in 2008, on the strength of his resonant operatic-style singing.
What kind of music you sing?
I sing opera.
You sing opera. Wonderful.
In the wake of his victory, Boyd released My American Dream in 2009, which reached number 3 on Billboard's classical chart, and included the singer's take on classic arias, patriotic songs, and show tunes. Boyd performed God Bless the USA at the 2012 Republican National Convention and later unsuccessfully ran for a seat in the Missouri General Assembly. According to CNN, Boyd died in his mother's home in Sikeston, Missouri on June 10, 2018. Per a Facebook fundraising request posted a few weeks earlier, Boyd was in a physical therapy program to help him recover from a serious car accident that nearly ended his life. According to a coroner's report, Boyd died from a combination of liver problems, kidney failure, and heart failure. He was 42. When he decided to audition for the 2017 season of America's Got Talent, 29-year-old Brandon Rogers was a doctor, finishing up his residency and family practice at Riverside Brentwood Medical Center in Newport News, Virginia.
I am a doctor, actually.
Ooh. But he still didn't want to completely shut the door on pursuing his other love, singing, and gave that televised singing competition a try. Dr. Rogers earned raves from all 4 judges for his audition piece, Stevie Wonder's Ribbon in the Sky.
Your vocal is stunning. Stunning.
He easily earned a pass to continue in the competition, but he wouldn't get the chance to see it through. After his audition, but before he could return to America's Got Talent to tape any more episodes, Rogers resumed his studies and medical work in Virginia. In the early morning hours of June 10, 2017, he was riding as a passenger in a car when the driver fell asleep at the wheel and struck a tree. Rogers died the next day from internal injuries suffered in the accident. He was 29. Seattle singer Leah LaBelle successfully auditioned for the third season of American Idol in 2004. She quickly advanced through the early rounds with her smooth and soulful covers of Whitney Houston, Al Green, and the Supremes songs, ultimately landing as a finalist in the top 12. However, she was eliminated after receiving the least number of votes after singing the Supremes' You Keep Me Hanging On. LaBelle subsequently signed to So-So Def Recordings and recorded and released several EPs, samplers, and singles. Around 2:30 a.m. on January 31, 2018, LaBelle was riding in the passenger seat of a Range Rover driven by her husband, retired NBA player Rasul Butler, when he lost control of the vehicle. It ran through parking meters and a wall at a high speed, as much as 3 times above the speed limit, before coming to a stop. Los Angeles police pronounced Butler and LaBelle dead at the scene. The singer was 31. Rickey Smith compared his velvety vocals to that of R&B star Brian McKnight, which he backed up by making it into the final top 12 round of Season 2 of American Idol in 2003 by singing McKnight's One Last Cry. After advancing with performances of songs by Earth, Wind & Fire and Lionel Richie, he ultimately finished in 8th place behind the likes of Ruben Studdard and Clay Aiken. Following his elimination, Smith remained in Los Angeles for a couple of years and nearly recorded an album. When it didn't pan out, he returned to his hometown of Oklahoma City. In the early morning hours of May 6, 2016, Smith was driving eastbound on I-240 when his vehicle was struck at a high speed by Gerardo Cerda Jr., who was driving a pickup truck in the wrong direction. Smith was pronounced dead on the scene, suffering multiple blunt force impact injuries, according to the Oklahoma office of the chief medical examiner. Corey Sutter, a barber and longtime friend of Smith, said of his death,
"Never knew that was going to be the last time I seen him. And he's the best person I ever met in my life."
Joanne Borgella wasn't just an aspiring pop and R&B singer. She had a knack for parlaying her talents and abilities into doing well on TV reality shows. In 2005, she won the first season of the televised plus-size beauty pageant and modeling contest Monique's Fat Chance, and subsequently signed with Wilhelmina Models. Borgella sang, too, and she made it to the top 24 of American Idol in its 7th season in 2008. She performed Dionne Warwick's I Say a Little Prayer, but was ultimately eliminated. According to ABC News, Borgella was diagnosed with endometrial cancer in 2013, which spread to her chest. She underwent multiple radiation treatments, one as late as fall 2014, but they didn't effectively stop the disease. According to a Facebook post from Borgella's family, the singer died on October 18, 2014. She was 32. Born and raised in Perth, Australia, Michael Johns aspired to be a professional tennis player before he discovered music at age 15 and decided to be a singer. After moving to the United States, he played solo gigs and joined a band. Then, under his real name, Michael Lee, he signed with Maverick Records, which didn't release his album until after he made it to American Idol for its 7th season in 2008. At the time of his audition, he was 29, the oldest a contestant could be under the show's bylaws. Johns finished in 8th place and thereafter resumed his recording career. Johns died in Orange County, California on August 1, 2014. Reports initially claimed that a blood clot in the singer's ankle caused by a leg injury led to his death. The official report from the Orange County Coroner's Office cited the cause of death as dilated cardiomyopathy, of which the fatal symptoms are improper blood flow and an enlarged heart. Johns was 35. In addition to singing, Freddie Combs was a minister. In 2012, he auditioned for the 2nd season of Fox's The X Factor by singing an inspirational secular hymn, Bette Midler's Wind Beneath My Wings, which he dedicated to his wife, Kay Combs. His tremendous performance moved the studio audience to a standing ovation, and judges offered their support to help Combs in his pursuits, although he didn't make it much further than the next round of competition. At the time that he competed on The X Factor, Combs was coming off a dramatic weight loss program, having shed nearly 400 pounds as documented on the TLC reality show Ton of Love.
It's not always easy trying to fit into this world, but together, we're working on getting our lives back.
He still lived with health issues and performed with the use of a wheelchair. On September 10, 2021, Combs died in a Florida hospital after suffering kidney failure. He was 49. Even in the original season of American Idol, which quietly debuted as a Fox summer replacement series in 2002, some contestants bristled against the pop and adult contemporary styles the show heavily pursued. Nikki McKibbin was the first successful non-pop singer in American Idol, winning a large contingent of voters with her rock meets soul-oriented covers of rock songs made famous by legendary female artists. Visually striking for her loud fashions and brightly dyed hair, McKibbin almost won the whole thing, finishing in 3rd place behind Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini. After parting ways with Sony Music over creative differences, McKibbin released her debut record Unleashed on indie label Chenoweth Music in 2007. According to an October 31, 2020 Facebook post by McKibbin's husband, the singer suffered a brain aneurysm. Doctors saw 0 chance of recovery, but they kept McKibbin on life support machines so as to prepare her organs for donation, per the pop star's documented wishes. McKibbin was taken off life support and she died soon thereafter. McKibbin was 42. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please call the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration's 24/7 national helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357.